Welcome to Verity, where truth and conversation converge. Kerwin D, and back again. Got another fantastic voice that we're going to hear from. Actor and CAU, Clark Atlanta University theater professor Joseph C. Phillips. And I want to say, welcome to Verity.
Thank you for having me. I have to say it's still odd to hear that professor added to so many years. It's just been
Okay.
actor, writer, activist, actor, writer, professor. So,
Oh,
but
and that's interesting because I said, listen, let me just give some of the people, some of the audience a little background. And I started printing some stuff, and all I saw was add more paper. I said, well, this guy's background is enormous. So I'm not going to even try to do all of that. Let me ask you this question. If you were going to introduce yourself, how would you do that?
oh man, um, right now probably just how you did it, but I think I've worn so many hats. There was a time where it would have been husband, father,
Mhm.
actor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm still a father, no longer a husband. But this it, this is a new life. I began last year coming to Atlanta. Um, Became a member of the faculty here at Clark, and it really is a new life. And I think what I'm getting to is that we wear different hats, and how we are introduced, or our I'm looking for a word, how we identify, I guess, changes over time, changes
Mhm.
as we grow, as we
Mhm.
mature, as we enter different phases of life. I think that's probably how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, yes. I know my brother says, man, you're always evolving because staying in the same place to me is stagnant. And I remember a very important quote that Muhammad Ali, which is in my mind the greatest of all times,
Yes.
said, if you're in the same place today that you were 30 years ago, that's 30 years of wasted living.
Yeah,
Continue to grow and move. So to your point,
absolutely.
um, we currently and we continue to evolve. Because you were born where, in Denver,
Denver,
Colorado?
Colorado. Yeah.
Now we ain't gonna stay on that too long, but how long did you live there and what was that like? What was
Well, I was born and raised in Denver, so I spent, I mean,
the
a
formative years?
yes.
Okay.
And then I left to go to college, and I started at the University of the Pacific, which is in Stockton, California. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, went to New York University
Mm-hmm.
in Greenwich Village in Manhattan. And I was in New York for 10 years before moving to Los Angeles. So all that's to say that I never really went back to Denver. So I born and raised there, never really lived there as an adult.
Okay. So
And
did
it was
you
wonderful. Denver is a beautiful city. Uh,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I was the last time I was there. I went back. Um, my oldest friend, my brother, passed away, and so it was not a happy time.
Mhm.
But the city has continued to grow. Um, in some ways it's not as pretty as it was when I was growing up. I noticed what some things look a little raggedy,
Mm.
but it's still a beautiful city, beautiful location. I still find the people there friendly, engaging, curious, hospitable, you know
Okay.
which
Okay.
is not this.
Okay.
And I don't want to slam anybody in the country, but we all know it's that's not the case in every city
Oh
that
yeah.
that you go to.
You absolutely. Now you still have family there?
No, no.
Okay.
I have old friends there,
Okay.
and I guess what you would call extended family, but I don't have any family there. Both my
Anybody? Okay.
parents have passed away. I had three sisters, two of which have passed away. So my family's
Okay.
very small these days.
Okay. Well, you got the CAU family, which I know they've welcomed you with open arms.
Yes,
And
it's been a fantastic. We're coming up on the end of the winter or the fall semester.
mhm,
So this is a year and a half, and it's been, in so many ways, it's been really fantastic.
mhm,
A learning experience. It's a different life.
mhm.
This academic life is. I mean, there's bureaucracy. I mean, there's some negatives, and I don't mean negatives as in bad things. I mean, everything's not fun.
Mhm.
It's
Sure.
bureaucracy and having to learn your way around all of that. But the people have been extremely friendly, extremely supportive. Um, I mean, just everyone down to the security guards who speak
How
to
about
me and wave, "Hey, professor."
how
So
about
it's and I
how
love
about
being on campus and being able to, uh, you know, wear my
represent
letters.
and
And
represent?
exactly. That's something I love about Atlanta. You know, in LA, um, you see occasionally around, and then you see brothers and other
Mhm,
D9 members at events.
mhm.
But here in Atlanta, you see people uh, in 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 Nalia walking down the street, and then
How
of
about
course
that?
being on a college campus, a
Yes.
campus that is actually four campuses.
Mhm.
An alpha line just crossed at Morris Brown. So you know, and then AKAs just had their things. 25 of them or something like that at Spelman. It's just very exciting, and
Yeah.
I'm really
How about
enjoying it.
how about that? How about that? Speaking of uh instructor, if I was to ask, let me ask you, how would your students, what would they say about you? Are you a hard instructor? Are you a not easy instructor, but are you one that really holds their feet to the fire? How would they describe you?
Uh, well, I've been told I'm stern, which surprised me because um, I have felt that I've been trying to be light
Okay.
um, since I've
You've
been
been
here.
trying to give them the light version.
Well, yeah, because I know that I do have a tendency to be serious, but the courses I teach, I think should be fun. And one of, for instance, I teach theater appreciation, which is largely a freshman an underclassman course.
Mhm.
It's required for the theater and communications department, so it's a large class. In other words, there are a lot of sections of it. I think this semester I'm teaching. Well, I don't think I know. I'm teaching three sections of it, so it's a lot of students, and um, because it's a required class, that means not everybody in the class necessarily wants to be there. They have to
Mhm.
be there. They're
Mhm.
required to be there,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and which means sometimes you get attitude. Attitude meaning people don't want to be there. They're not shy about kind of
Sure. Sure.
showing that they
Oh,
don't
I
want
gotta
to be
take
there.
this class.
Yeah,
Man,
and then
yeah.
just
Body language, all of that.
yes. Um, so I've been told that I'm stern, and so I do try to make jokes, but in acting classes, in like I have a section of oral interpretation, and I teach other theater related classes. Theater to me is fun. It's always been a great time, and the thing that I hope that I am able to do in these classes is to convey that joy. Certainly, the joy that I have
Mhm.
had over the years being a member of the theater community. I
Mhm.
love being on stage. I love being backstage. I love being on a
Yeah.
set.
It's magical.
It
It,
really is. And
once
so
you get
I want
bitten by that theater bug, it's just it's incredible.
and it is a bug. I mean, it's you once bitten, it is so
Yeah.
difficult to shake. And you know, I have friends and people acquaintances
Mhm.
who, you know, just struggling in this business for decades,
Mhm.
and they can't give it up.
Mhm.
Can't give it up
Yes.
because they
Yes.
love it. They
Yes.
love it so
Yes.
much.
Yes. The moment you walk in, you start to breathe it and feel it. And I get what you're talking about. So, in all that you've done, and you've got more to do you plan to do any acting, any of that here in the Atlanta area? Or are you going to more or less focus your? Are you going to keep your focus on the academic side?
Well, well, I have been acting. In fact, well, of course, we're just coming off a very long strike, so I, me and a lot of other actors have not been acting.
Right, right, right.
But last year, I shot the Keisha Cole story. I played her father in that made-for-TV movie.
And for people who may not know Keisha Cole,
You know, I have to admit, I did not know Keisha. She laughed really hard. She really is. I found her to be quite charming, uh, beautiful, talented young lady. Um, but I was talking to her, and I told her that yeah, somebody. I told somebody I was doing, and they didn't really know her. I said, yeah, she's a gospel artist. She laughed.
yeah.
I said, I, I hate to admit, I didn't know who you were. I thought you sang
what?
God,
What? Wait.
but
To your
she's an
credit,
R&B
Keisha
singer.
Cole sound like a gospel artist name.
It sounds, yeah. But so I had heard of her, but I always thought she sang gospel. And then I came back. I think it was after a weekend or something. I was back on set, and I said, "Guess who immersed themselves in the Keisha Cole library over the weekend?" And she got a kick because I there, and I don't remember the name of the song now, but there was one song I was telling her I liked, and the lyrics, there was a rhyme in there that I really liked, and I think that I have a like people just like I'm a square, you know, I'm corny, whatever. So
Mhm.
she got a kick. She said it's very odd. I can't remember how she put it, but it was something to the effect that was very odd listening to me recite her lyrics. But had a good time doing that, and I shot a Christmas movie, something that's been on my bucket list. So uh, and that is called Festival of Trees, and I don't know when that's coming out,
Okay.
but should be. I would think if it was going to come out this year, then it should
Okay.
be coming out soon.
You should be hearing
Uh,
something soon.
yeah,
Okay.
but no, I've been
Now,
trying to audition, but it is difficult when you have to teach, you have to lesson plan, you have to
mhm,
grade papers,
mhm.
and I hate to admit it, I
And
had an
counsel.
audition that I was supposed to have taped, and I completely blanked because I'm catching up on work, and then I'm directing a play next semester, so I had auditions and casting, and I'm preparing that work, and then coming up on Thanksgiving. Um, so it's difficult to try to juggle.
Mhm,
And I also have been doing this for 40 years, so
mm,
I am now kind of a bit tired, I think. Tired in the sense that there's a hustle that you have to and a
mhm,
mindset that
mhm,
is required. But
mhm,
I think at a certain point, I'm just kind of, well, I don't really want to run.
mhm, mhm,
You know, you
mhm.
get to an age and
Sure,
say, I think
I
I'd
get
like
that.
to walk. And
Yeah.
so I don't want to chase that. If it
Right.
comes to me, then that's great. But and so blessed to be able to say that, really, because I have a regular gig here at Clark.
How about that? How
If
about
if
that?
if I'm if I was back in LA and you
Yeah.
know just
Right.
then it's a different story. But
Yeah.
so this job really has been a blessing in a
Yes.
number of ways.
Oh, wow. That is so fantastic. Listen, we could go on, but we're about out of time. But I want to thank you, actor, CAU professor, writer. I mean, I could go down the list, but I will say welcome to Clark Atlanta University, Atlanta. and continue to do the wonderful work of shaping minds, influencing and encouraging young people to be all that they can be. We appreciate you and thank you for spending some time with us on
All right.
Verity.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Had a good
My
time.
pleasure. And y'all make sure y'all dot back next week. Got another fantastic voice you're going to hear from right here on Verity, where truth and conversation converge. Kerwin D. Check you next time. Peace.